Good day, everyone! Now we are going to present our evaluation for the technology integration of our selected classroom. And these are the proponents: Mary Claire Pamat, Rose Ann Porcelain, and yours truly, Princess of Sabanto. We started by constructing 10 standards as a basis for our evaluation tool. On the following slides are these 10 standards. First standard has multimedia equipment. Example given are television, speakers, and etc. Number 2 has digital devices. Example given are mobile phones, tablets, laptops, and etc. Number 3 has access to Wi-Fi connection. Number 4 uses PowerPoint presentations. Number 5 uses interactive learning websites or games. And number 6 uses ebooks. Seventh standard is posting the learning materials and assignments online. Example given are Google Classroom, etc. Number 8 uses social media platforms. Example given are Facebook, etc. Number 9 collaborates or communicates via instant messaging or chat. Example given are Messenger, Telegram, and etc. Lastly, watches educational video contents into YouTube. Then this is the evaluated tool we have came up with. With the 10 standards I mentioned earlier, the scale of the rating is from 4 to 1. 4 is interpreted as strongly agree, 3 as agree, 2 as disagree, and 1 as strongly disagree, which is the lowest rating. After evaluating the technology integration of Grade 2 Tamalia's classroom, we have arrived in these results. For the standards number 1, number 2, number 4, 8, 9, and 10, the three of us evaluated it in a scale of 4 because we strongly agreed that they have complied to this. Meanwhile, standard number 3, we evaluated it only 1, and for standard number 5, we only evaluated it in 3. Lastly, for 6 and 7 standards, the three of us evaluated it in a scale of 2. Number 9 collaborates or communicates via instant messaging or chat. Example given are Messenger, Telegram, and etc. Lastly, watches educational video contents into YouTube. Now for the number of responses in which we only sum up, the scale of 4 got the highest, which is 18. Next is the scale of 3 and 1 having the same number of responses, which is 3. Lastly is the scale of 2 getting 6. Next is the total responses per scale, which is 30 as the three of us evaluated multiplied by the 10 standards. Lastly is the percentage. The percentage was calculated by dividing the number of responses with the total responses and then multiplied by 100. For the scale of 4, it got 60%, the scale of 3 and 1 having 10%, and the scale of 2 with 20%.
Now, let's go for the interpretation of data. We will interpret each standard's result. Now, for the first standard, we give a rating of 4 in the first standard because when the teacher began her class with the learners, she used the television and speakers. The learners are able to view clearly the images, text, and videos in the PowerPoint presentation and listen to the audios, which help them to understand more the lesson. This concludes that the classroom has integrated multimedia equipment for better teaching and learning experience of the teacher and learners. As shown in the tabulated data, for the second standard, we rated it 4 because as what we observed, the teacher utilized digital devices such as laptop. This aids the teacher to further engage the learners during their class, which indicates that we strongly agreed on how the digital devices were integrated well in the classroom. For the third standard, we evaluated it in a rate of 1 because when we conducted an interview with the teacher, she mentioned that they are not using Wi-Fi in the class. This concludes that the classroom does not have any access to Wi-Fi connection. Although this may be downside as the teachers and learners won't be able to search for additional knowledge during class, this alleviates the learners' exposure to radiation in using their phones at such a young age. For the first standard, we gave a rating of 4 because we have observed that the teacher is introducing their lessons via PowerPoint presentation in their class. This makes the learning of the students more interesting and engaging as the teacher can incorporate visual images and videos in it. Thus, we strongly agreed that using PowerPoint presentation has a huge impact to the students. As shown in the tabulated data, we assessed it in a rate of 3 because they occasionally used interactive learning websites or games in their class as they don't have a strong internet connection. However, the teacher stated that they are using offline games to make the learning of the students as fun and exciting as it can be. Now for the sixth standard, we disagreed because the learners are using actual books to further increase their knowledge regarding with the topic and only utilizes ebooks sometimes. This might be inconvenient to the learners as well they will only get to use these learning materials when they are in their classroom. Yet, this reduces the chances of them being distracted as well while reading ebooks in their digital devices. For the seventh standard, since the majority of the student doesn't have mobile phones or internet, they don't have learning management systems like Google Classrooms for posting their learning materials as assignments online. Thus, we gave them a rating of 2 because instead of Google Classroom, their teacher includes their assignments through physical learning modules. The teacher then only chats in the messenger to update the parents regarding with the instruction of the students' assignments or tasks. In the 8th standard, we rated it 3 because there may be students who have Facebook accounts, but there are also few who do not have. Moreover, they didn't usually use their Facebook accounts for academic purposes since they are only grade 2 students. For the 9th standard, as we interviewed the teacher, we discovered that she uses group chats and Messenger for classroom announcements and updates to the parents. This in fear that they employed it to instantly convey announcements and contacts to parents in case of students' well-being and security. Thus, we gave a 4 rating overall in this standard because the teacher utilizes Messenger to communicate and collaborate to the student parents. For the less standard, we assessed it in a rating of 4 as we observed that the teacher downloads educational video contents from YouTube and flashes it in the television. This aids the teacher to catch the students' attention and listen to her carefully. Thus, we strongly agree that utilizing educational videos from YouTube are a great help, not only to catch students' attention, but also to deliver more creative and visualized content to the students.
For the interpretation of pie chart. As shown, the highest rating is on strongly agree, garnering 60%, which includes the standards like the use of multimedia equipment, digital devices, and etc. Meanwhile, tied at the lowest rating, which accumulated 10%, goes to strongly disagree and agree, as it was assessed that the classroom doesn't have any access to Wi-Fi, and it resulted to the usage of interactive learning websites or games being not accessible as well. However, the teacher able to resolve this problem by using offline games platform instead. On the other hand, for the remaining standards such as the use of ebooks and posting learning materials, example online Google Classroom, they are poorly integrated in the classroom, which takes up an overall 20% rating of disagree. Technology integration in the classroom leads to positive outcomes for making lessons easier and more efficient. Based on our evaluation, it showed that from using multimedia equipment, digital tools, up to social media apps or platform in a classroom allows them to integrate the advancement of technology for better and more flexible teaching and learning experiences in the elementary schools. However, despite of all these upper hands, the classroom still faces several challenges. Aside from the third standard, which is having access to Wi-Fi that can be considerable inaccessible, as this country have poor internet connection. The fourth standard, using interactive learning websites or game, cannot be fulfilled as well, as it relies on a strong internet connectivity. On the bright side though, teachers can still be able to employ alternative strategies for classroom activities. For instance, the teacher can provide physical learning modules beforehand, whenever she is absent or cannot attend the class due to personal reasons. Students are still able to answer some activities and gain knowledge by it. Considering this, they decided not to send the modules or learning materials online, as many of the student families have no access yet to internet connection or computers, especially on the far-flung areas. The utilization of ebooks in the classroom may also happen sometimes for exactly the same reason as the latter. Since we are in the 21st century, both the learners and teachers have become technology literate. Integrating technology in the classroom has begun to emerge gradually. However, there are still who are not ready for this immense change, as they don't have adequate access on the internet and doesn't have any gadgets. That we have observed and evaluated are shown in the results that there are several standards in which they are failed to comply. Yet, in spite of this, they still manage to keep pace with the demands brought by the 21st century education. Hence, we recommend that the government should take measures to improve the technological integration in all schools across the country. They should not keep on promising to the teachers and students with their deceitful words. instead make a difference in today's educational setting. So for verification, these are the documentations during the observation and evaluation process last March 8 in Upper Tumbler Elementary School.